Hi, everyone. My name is Keegan Edwards. I'm with Liquid. We're an e-commerce agency focusing on Lightspeed and Shopify stores. Today, we're going to talk about how to update your carousel or hero image when your image is actually within your code and there's no place in the content management system to update that image. So the reason might be because you've had somebody customize your website and it's a lot more custom and looks great, but the problem is now that image right here, the main hero image on your site, is something you want to customize but don't know or don't have access to without getting into the code. So today we're going to talk about how to actually do that process. I don't recommend you do this unless you're really comfortable with computers and really comfortable with following instructions closely. If you're not a developer, this really isn't a smart idea, but we do have people internally and externally who are interested in learning to do this, so we're making the video today. If you have any questions, please call us 954-361-5284, and somebody from Liquid would be happy to walk you through this process or even take care of it for you. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pretend that I want to change out the slider image that I have here on the home page. So we just have two right now, and we're going to pretend that we want to add a new one. So just so I don't screw anything up on the site, I'm actually just going to save this image and re-upload it. But we'll talk about how that works. So the first thing I need to do is I need to look and figure out the size of the image. So I'm going to right-click on the image and click Inspect. And this is going to bring up all the code that powers the website, and it's going to be on the image already. And what it's going to tell me is the natural size of the image. So when I hover over this image link, I'm going to see that the natural size of the image is 1,902 pixels by 634 pixels. So that's the natural size of that image. That's really important because we want to keep the same aspect ratio, meaning the same width versus height. It has to stay in an appropriate ratio. The best way to make sure that when we replace a carousel image there, we don't screw everything up on the website, is to use that natural image size and make sure whatever image we're replacing there is the same natural image size as the existing image. So we know we're going to upload something that's 1902 by 634. So I'm just going to save this image to show us where we would need to put it. You would have to create, obviously, your own new image and create it in those dimensions, but I'm going to save this as Village Pets Deliver, and I'm just going to put test. And I'll save that. Now, I'm going to go into the Shopify site after this downloads. And in the Shopify home screen, I'm actually going to go to the online store, click on Themes, click on these little three buttons and go to Edit HTML and CSS. Now we see, on our end, we see this website and we see everything come out looking like appropriate content and things we can examine and understand. But on the other end of the site, it's actually all built using code. So if I click on theme, we see that this is all the actual code that the computer reads and the browser reads to actually post everything that you see on this end that looks the way that it does. So I'm going to scroll down here, and the template that we need to work on is called the index.liquid. So the index.liquid, index is the way that most files are set up to read the index as the home page. So we say home page. If we know if we're talking about the code, we know that's going to be the index page. So I'm going to go to the index page, and we see all the code here that powers everything that comes up on the home page of the site. The part that we need to look for specifically is the main carousel, or sometimes it's called the hero image for the site. And if we need a new image, there's a few things that we're going to need to do. So right here within this code, we see something known as divs. And divs are what are the containers that contain the image and the link for that image. So the div is the container. The A is where the link goes, where that image should link. And the image is where that actual image exists. So before we can even change any of this code, we'll see that this is linking image img source is linking to that image that should come up, that new slider. So we need to replace that with the slider we want to be in there. So we'll see right now, we've got two divs live. So trying not to get overly complicated here. This code is hidden, and this code is hidden right here. That's why it's kind of blanked out. But these are the two live sliders that we see. So we see div here, that's one container, and we see a second div here, that's a second container. And those are the two containers that have the link and the image for the two sliders that are live on the site, for this slider and for this slider. So we see the first one here, div. Within the div is the link. Within the link is the image and the source of that image to produce it. And then here's the second one. Here's the div in that container. Within that is the image. Within that is actually another div because we have text that's overlaying the top of that image. So if you do have text, it gets a little bit more complicated. You'll have a div within a div, but if you're just replacing an image, you'll have an A with an H reference, so where it should link, and an image with a source to where to grab that image from. So in order to get set up to have that link in the first place, we first need to go to our settings. I'm going to leave this. And let's go to settings and then files. So I went over here to the left, I click settings, I click files, and we'll see here, here's my Village Pets Deliver image, the original one that's up live on the site. So if I wanted to add the new one, I just go to upload file, and I save that as Village Pets Deliver test. So I open that. And you'll see that it's working. Well, it uploads it, and there it is. So now I have uploaded into the file section, Village Pets Deliver test. And what it gives me is that URL. It's on a CDN, which stands for Content Delivery Network. So it gives me that link. Shopify holds that in a Content Delivery Network, and I could use that URL to showcase on the front end of the site. So what I would do is I would select that. I would copy it. I would copy that image URL, and in order to replace the existing image, I need to now go back to the code, so to Online Store, go back, click on my Edit HTML CSS, go back to that index.liquid page, and right here where I have the existing image and link, let's say I want to replace this image, I would need to copy this entire piece right here. So this piece is where that actual URL is to the Content Delivery Network or Shopify, and that's where my image exists. So I would need to paste that new URL in there, and then I would save it. And then when I went back here and refreshed my site, I would have the new image here. Now it's the exact same image, so I don't need to paste it again, but that's the process. And you have to be very careful because it would be within these quotation marks. So from image source equals quote mark, and then you paste in the new image link, and then make sure there's quotes on the other side of it still, and save, and not touch anything else. Now, there's another piece that I want to talk about, because if you do want your site to have some changes to it, there's another thing that you might want to change with the carousel or hero image, and that is which one is the first one that you see when you arrive on the site. So if I refresh, this is the first image that I see. And the reason that I see that first is because this image is tagged with the class active. So you'll see in that div container, it's tagged with the class active. Active means make that the first one that I see when I come to the site. And in order to change that, you need to tag a different class or a different div or the other image with the class active. So I'm going to just show you what I mean here, because that's probably the easiest way. I'm going to cut that, and I'm going to paste it here, and I'm going to save it. So I change from this div to the other div for my slider, and I go here, and I refresh it now. And now we see that the new location slider is the first one I see when I come to the site. And that's because this div that contains the other image for the new location slider is the one that was tagged with active. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this again because we don't want that to actually be the one that's live. I'm going to go in here and paste it. I'm going to save, refresh, and we'll see that it's back to the original slide being tagged as the active slide. So if you have any questions, please again give us a call. This is just a quick tutorial, but you'll see in the code on the index page, you'll see divs that contain the link reference and the image reference for those main sliders, and those are all set up. So if you want to replace them, you can go in, upload the new file in the settings file section, copy the URL that it gives you, and paste the new URL into the image source equals section. Same thing if you want to change the link, you would just choose a new link for that to go to and copy and paste that into the AH reference to change the link of where the actual slider will go to if you click on it. So that's all for today. If you have any questions, again, please call us at Liquid Retailer. Visit our website at liquidretailer.com or call us at 954-361-5284. Thanks so much. Have a great day.